Donald Trump confidently approaches the journalists and speaks. A dance app for teenagers threatened by a president. Sounds crazy, right? But it's not a joke. A few months earlier in India, TikTok disappeared. 200 million users wiped out in one night, as if an entire country had clicked delete. At the same time, Trump is back in power, but the message is completely different now.
And starting today, TikTok is back.
Even stronger, the White House now has an official account. TikTok, the app they wanted to ban, has become the media of power. Today, TikTok dominates with over 1.5 billion monthly active United States users. Nearly 150 million people connect to it regularly in France, about 22 million each month. Above all, TikTok is now more than an app. It's a lifestyle, format, language, and universal reflex. But then, how did a simple video app manage to turn the whole world's mind upside down? Why are Meta, YouTube, and even Google copying it while trembling? And above all, why is TikTok only the first piece of a much bigger plan, the ByteDance plan? Hi, Entrepreneur Mindset team. Hope you're well. I'm glad to be with you today to take you through the story of the app that's changing the way we think. In our investigation today, we'll look together at the birth of the monster, the lightning-fast conquest that turned TikTok into a global addiction, and why all attempts to stop the monster have failed. And we'll finish, as usual, with the business lessons that every entrepreneur should take away from this fascinating story. It's a story of power, data, and collective behavioral changes that could very well change the way humanity thinks. Let's get started. A train speeds toward Beijing. By the window, a young engineer observes passengers and thinks, nobody reads newspapers anymore. Everyone's glued to their smartphones. His name is Zhang Yiming, and he takes out a notebook to write a sentence that sounds like a prophecy. One day, all information will go through this little screen, and it won't be journalists who decide what to show anymore, but a machine capable of guessing what each person wants to see. A few months later, in a meticulous apartment where the power goes out several times a day, Zhang will found ByteDance, a small startup that wants to break the rules of the Chinese internet. A world dominated at the time by three giants: Baidu for search, Alibaba for commerce, and Tencent for social networks. Three walls that seem insurmountable, called the Baidu, Alibaba, Tencent in China. Zhang, on the other hand, has neither money nor connections, but he has a simple idea. The future won't belong to those who control friends or transactions, but to those who master information. He launches his first product, a news app called Douyin. The principle is radical. Every click is recorded, every scroll is measured, every second spent on an article is analyzed. Within days, the app understands your preferences better than you do, so every user's news feed is unique. It's no longer a newspaper, it's a machine for personalizing reality. For many, it's just another app. For Zhang, it's a silent revolution. He doesn't want to build a social network, but a personalized engine, a machine that can read your mind. At first, the investors laugh. A news app, seriously, no one is going to read that. And they're not wrong. The first few months, they really struggle. Zhang struggles to recruit, persuade journalists, and afford servers. Then a surprise boost arrives. Beijing's Sequoia China Fund bets about $5 million on his intuition, enough to rent an apartment and hire engineers. He avoids the common startup mistake after fundraising: no fancy office, just extension cords, coffee, and sleepless nights. His team refines the code daily. Each click, pause, and scroll becomes data, helping the app learn. For Zhang, it's the ultimate validation. The algorithm is more than a tool. It's a mild drug. He discovered the formula. So, one question arises. If an algorithm can hypnotize millions of people with boring articles, what would happen with video? In 2016, ByteDance launched Douyin, an ultra-short video app. You open it, you swipe, and the algorithm glues you to the screen. Zhang understood something very powerful. To win, you have to learn from others' mistakes. Vine paved the way for short videos but didn't pay its creators. As a result, the stars left. If you're interested in Vine, let me know in the comments, as I don't think it's well known in France. YouTube focused on longer videos with less data, while Instagram set high standards with flawless photos. Facebook, on the other hand, depended entirely on our circle of friends. Douyin is going to do the opposite of all that. It's going to shower its creators with visibility, and sometimes even with cash. It picks the fast format, more videos, more data, more addiction. It combines filters, music, and effects so even a teen at home looks pro, connecting straight to your brain. No need for friends or waiting. Each swipe is data, bringing the algorithm closer to you, so the app instantly delivers personalized content. It's like Netflix picking the perfect movie before you touch the remote. Since the videos are so short, the algorithm learns much faster than competitors. In an hour, you can share a week's worth of YouTube information. The more you watch, the more it guesses, and vice versa. A perfect loop. A year later, Zhang Yiming aims higher. He's going to transform Douyin and conquer the whole world. A blackened neon logo flashes on his screen. TikTok is born. It's not a dance app, it's a matrix, a machine designed to capture human attention. And Zhang is about to unleash it on the whole world. But to conquer the planet, ByteDance must overcome a barrier few Chinese startups have crossed: the West, where giants already dominate. Facebook, Google, Snapchat, all discussed in our recent channel analysis. The video link is in the description. To make a mark, Zhang knows he can't play it safe, so he goes all in. In 2018, ByteDance paid almost $1 billion for Musical.ly, an American app where teens were already filming lip-sync videos. Merging Musical.ly with TikTok gave Zhang something money can't buy: a strong United States user base. Millions of young Americans suddenly find themselves in the ByteDance ecosystem, followed by a brilliant marketing move. Instead of keeping its videos locked inside the app, TikTok encourages sharing elsewhere: Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. With one clever detail, the TikTok watermark is embedded on every video. You can't go a day without seeing that black and neon logo. Back then, it caught my attention on Insta, and I wondered what it was. Not sure if you felt the same. It was a visual virus spreading everywhere. Unstoppable free advertising, and the growth had just begun. In India, TikTok rolled out a relentless strategy of massive ads in secondary cities, where Facebook and Instagram were still weak. In just a few months, the app surpassed 200 million Indian users, a whole country drawn into the algorithm spiral. Though things will end badly, we'll revisit that later. Europe is also affected, with 150 million users. France leads with 25 million active users, followed by Germany and Italy. From high school classrooms to village cafes, TikTok is becoming the default reflex, including in the United States. With over 100 million active users in 2019, the app became the world's most downloaded, surpassing Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. The giants finally realize they have a problem, but it's already too late. Valued at about $300 billion, ByteDance, which began in a small Beijing apartment, is now worth more than Twitter, Snapchat, and Spotify combined. TikTok has evolved from a dance app into a global cultural platform, a machine that has completely disrupted the hierarchy of entertainment, music, advertising, and changed the behavior of an entire generation. A 20-year-old locks himself in his backyard closet, records a homemade track, and posts it on a Chinese app. A month later, Old Town Road tops charts worldwide. Lil Nas X didn't come from a label, but from an algorithm feed, revolutionizing the highly structured record industry. Now it's become a factory. Careers now begin online, not in offices. Record labels no longer sign. They launch challenges. They don't do radio. They pay 17-year-old creators for 10 seconds of dance. Culture no longer comes from above. It is created from a feed. But TikTok hasn't just won entertainment, it has colonized attention. And maybe that's the real danger. Picture this. A teenage girl gets dumped, opens the app, and the algorithm senses her mood based on what she skips or keeps. Her feed fills up with sad music, toxic breakups, painful stories. a spiral happening in the next room. Her younger brother scrolls too, seeing fitness, hustle, crypto, passive income. At 17, the same app offers two parallel worlds. TikTok doesn't show you the world, it shows you your world. The one it measures, the one it reinforces, and your brain adapts. In June 2024, an electroencephalogram study published in Frontiers in Human Neuroscience shows that the more addictive short video use is, the more the markers of excessive control drop as a result of scrolling. We boost the search for microstimuli and reduce our focus. In July 2025, a brain and behavior study of 528 children ages 6 to 12 found regular short video use is linked to more inattention symptoms, especially in younger kids. Even accounting for total screen time, the format trains the brain to snack, evident even in ads. According to a study by Yahoo and OMD, Generation Z loses active attention after about 1, 2, 3 seconds on a mobile ad, a second and a bit to decide whether I stay or swipe. We don't wait anymore. We react. Reading a book feels too long, movies too slow, and reasoning tedious. We're now dopamine seekers, not spectators. And be careful, I see you millennials and older folks saying it's just the younger ones who've gone off the rails. It's absolutely not just a teenage thing anymore. Parents are there, and grandparents are definitely getting there too. The Pew Research Center reports that a third of United States adults use TikTok, including 40% of those aged 30 to 49, showing the app has crossed generational lines. Globally, TikTok has over 1.5 billion monthly users and is now the default cultural format. An app born from teenage dances that now reprograms the way we discover, desire, learn, and think. Of course, some people thought they had to react. The sound of boots. At night, clashes break out on the Sino-Indian border. 20 Indian soldiers are killed. India is furious. But instead of bombing, it does something else. It bans TikTok. 200 million users cut off overnight. The platform didn't even have time to say goodbye. The official reason, a threat to national sovereignty. The real reason, TikTok is a Chinese Trojan horse, and India just slammed the door shut. Trump climbs the steps of the White House. The cameras start rolling and he drops a bombshell. We may be banning TikTok. Espionage. The reason? China could be siphoning off Americans' data. And according to him, there's a risk that this app could influence public opinion and sway elections.
Welcome back. Today, the Trump administration announced new measures to effectively ban Chinese-owned apps TikTok and WeChat. The move further escalates tensions between the United States and China.
Trump gave Biden an ultimatum of 90 days to sell TikTok to an American company. But inside the administration, it's chaos. Microsoft wants to buy it. Oracle joins, chaos follows, the deal fails, Trump loses, and TikTok survives. Brussels steps in as the Digital Service Act challenges web giants and summons TikTok. Authorities aim to understand the algorithm's impact on young people. The data on fines comes in, investigations are launched, but TikTok resists, dodges, and adapts its strategy. A new data center is opened in Ireland. They mention transparency, but the algorithm is still hidden. Ironically, TikTok isn't in China, it's Douyin there. It's a more controlled version, limited time for minors, filtered content, and no harmful challenges or unhealthy videos. The giant is kept under control at home, but elsewhere, it's completely free. There's no neon sign or TikTok logo here, just the discreet name ByteDance. Behind this simplicity lies immense power. TikTok is only one part. ByteDance is the whole, and it moves very quickly. CapCut may seem like a free editing tool, but it's actually a Trojan horse. All its effects, songs, and trends are tailored for TikTok. You create and post content, fueling the platform, while the company builds its own generative AIs. Script, voice, avatar. In 2024, they introduced Cause, their ChatGPT alternative, powered by billions of hours of short videos instead of Wikipedia articles. A raw material that is unique, perfect for creating emotional AIs that capture our gestures, our moods, and our desires. Next, there's e-commerce in China. Douyin is already a selling machine. One click on a video, A product equals a payment, then a delivery. In 2023, this TikTok shop generated more than $200 billion in sales in Asia, and the West is the next step. ByteDance wants to become Amazon, plus Netflix, plus Instagram, all in a single interface, all under the control of the algorithm. And even that isn't enough for them. The company invested in gaming, acquired studios, and released educational and productivity apps. They also offer Lark, an office suite competing with Slack and Google Workspace. Any digital tech sector is a target. ByteDance is no longer a startup, it's a platform factory, a sprawling empire. TikTok is just a showcase, but be cautious and learn this before subscribing to the channel. And after all our analyses, the story of empires is always the same. The more they expand, the more they attract attacks. And behind the triumphant facade, cracks start to appear. Already, the first limit is political distrust. We've discussed this often. The European Union is monitoring, the United States is making new threats, and several countries are targeting the app. The second limit is competition. YouTube has Shorts, Instagram is promoting Reels, and Facebook and others are also involved. They've all copied, but none have matched TikTok in terms of usage intensity. And the third limit, and not the least, is fatigue. For years, TikTok dominated. But since 2024, scroll fatigue has set in. Too many ads, live shopping, noise, and repetitive trends. Some people turn off notifications, others use basic phones without apps, and some young people join private groups. What about the algorithms? The party continues, but more people are heading for the exit. TikTok's story remains wild. 5 years ago, we saw it as just a teen app. Dance routines, memes, and wild challenges. Now it's a global network, career booster, propaganda tool, interactive mall, and mental mirror. TikTok didn't just shape a generation, it remixed the attention economy, broke the logic of traditional networks, and pushed AI to the heart of our emotions. But the real question isn't how far TikTok will go, it's who will really dare to say no to it. And here are the invaluable lessons an entrepreneur can take from this. The first is to understand the true value of attention. What ByteDance understood before anyone else is exactly that. Human attention is the oil of the 21st century. Without it, you don't exist. TikTok doesn't sell content, it sells micro slices of brain, and that's infinitely scalable. The second lesson is that speed is essential. The TikTok algorithm isn't just good, it's fast. Each video is a loop. More videos equals more loops equals more learning. While YouTube learns in weeks, TikTok learns in hours. The moral of the story: if you move faster than your competitors, you win, even with an imperfect product. The third lesson, and maybe the most essential one, is not to reinvent the wheel, but to improve it. TikTok didn't invent anything. Vine launched short videos. Musical.ly was dominating among teenagers. They arrived after the battle, studied the flaws, and learned from what remained. You don't need the original idea, just understand why others failed. A bit like Klarna, which was inspired by the installment payment model to make it accessible to an entire generation that found itself caught in an unexpected trap, as you can see in the video that's showing.